the Rogue Valley Symphony is proud to present to you the 22-23 season.
Joel, I am so incredibly excited to present this season to our patrons. It is our boldest season yet. It reflects the confidence I have in my ensemble. It's incredible what happened in the last few years. We went through a transformation, and so I could let my creativity just to run completely unobstructed, and we were able to create these fantastically exciting programs.
We're launching our 2022-2023 season with a spring in our step and hope in our hearts. The best view comes after the hardest climb.
Welcome to the 22-23 season reveal.
This is a good time to take out the brochure we sent you and follow along as Martin tells you about 22-23. Masterworks 1.
For Masterworks 1, we're bringing you a stellar clarinetist, Anthony McGill. I have to tell you, the soloists you're going to hear this season, you can hear them with the best orchestras in the world right now. That's the kind of quality we're able to bring to you. Anthony McGill is a prime example. Not only he is a soloist of international caliber, he used to be the principal in the Metropolitan Opera Orchestra before he relocated. He went across the street and now serves as a principal clarinet of the New York Philharmonic. I asked Anthony to play a piece that was written specially for him, the clarinet concerto called From the Mountaintops by composer Daniel Poor. This piece reflects on the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. Now that opened a door for two other pieces that I sort of build around this centerpiece. First, a symphony by Schubert, an unfinished symphony. It's such a fabulous piece of music, and I was looking for an opportunity to present it in a context where it would mean more than just beautiful tunes. So to me, just like Martin Luther King Jr.'s life, this symphony also was never finished, and yet the legacy of that symphony is something that is still part of our conversation today. So after this beautiful opener and Anthony's concerto, we're bringing a symphonic piece, a masterpiece by Richard Strauss, a prime example of late romantic music. This piece is called Death and Transfiguration, a very lush sort of philosophical treatise on our legacy, because I think that our legacy is probably the most important thing about our life. And so once again you can see how all these elements combine to make for a unified experience when you come to our Masterworks 1 concert.
Masterworks 1 will be performed at all three venues, Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
Masterworks 2.
Masterworks 2 is a direct transfer from 2020, when we were supposed to say happy birthday Beethoven, happy 250th. He's fortunately still very relevant, even at the age of 252. We are bringing you a composer and pianist who equally gifted in both areas, Michael Brown. Michael will play the first piano concerto by Beethoven and also his own composition, his own piano concerto that he wrote as an homage to Beethoven. So I think that's very thrilling. In the second half, we will be playing Beethoven's Symphony No. 7.
Masterworks 2 performs only twice, Friday evening in Medford and a Saturday matinee in Ashland.
Masterworks 3.
Our third Masterworks series opens with a piece with a very simple title, Amen. It was written by Carlos Simon, an incredibly vibrant voice on the scene today. I fell in love with his music, and particularly with this piece. This piece reflects his upbringing in a Pentecostal church, and the exuberance and the energy of the service is just beautifully depicted in this piece. Our soloist is Britton Renee Collins, a marimba player. Now, she will make you go home and Google pieces featuring marimba. She's that good. Despite her young age, she is a very mature artist. I admire her curiosity, her scope, her vision, and her absolutely virtuosic skills. I asked Britton to play a piece called Prism by a Japanese composer Keiko Abe. Now prism, it's when you have light entering a glass, and then on the right angle you have all the colors of the rainbow, and that's what you want to see in this piece. Keiko was a virtuoso marimba player herself, so she is basically, she's pushing boundaries of what this instrument can do. It's a very cinematographic music, large in scope, beautiful concerto. And then in the second half, William Dawson's Negro Folk Symphony. Dawson took actually Dvorak's legacy to heart, and he tried to use an African-American vernacular and infuse sort of a late romantic music with that new aspect, new element. And boy, did he succeed. This is a really unjustly neglected masterpiece. It truly stands on par with the best symphonic opuses of Dvorak, but it adds that very distinct American tone, the 20th century sort of jazz and blues note to that music. A fantastic piece, which I promise you will be your new favorite symphony.
We are partnering with Southern Oregon University's percussion department on this performance, and both of the performances will be in Ashland because that's where the marimbas live.
Masterworks 4.
For Masterworks 4, I invited a good friend of the Rock Valley Symphony back, Alexander Sitkovetsky. A violinist. I can count on fingers of one hand how many of our soloists got such a strong positive reaction to their performance. We are going very boldly into the territory of Russian music. So knowing of Alexander's capabilities, I asked him this time to perform Shostakovich's first violin concerto, which is talked about as a Iron Man concerto because it really requires superhuman skills to play this massive violin concerto. So I needed to balance it. We need a little more positive reinforcement, and that's why I added a lush romantic symphony by Alexander Borodin, his heroic symphony. Complexities of the Russian soul all in one concert. How could you resist it?
We knew that people would not be able to resist this concert, so we have 3 performances happening: the traditional Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
Masterworks 5.
Here we are at Masterworks 5, and I want to start with a little story. I became aware of a pianist, Michelle Kahn, several years ago. I was very intrigued, and we started talking to her management about her possible visit with the Rock Valley Symphony. She has been doing great work promoting a piano concerto by Florence Price, an early 20th century African-American composer, and I wanted her to come here and play that with us. So while we're talking, Michelle made her breakthrough performance with the Philadelphia Orchestra, and she went from a hidden secret to a superstar overnight. So what do you do in that case? Well, we double down, and we are having her play not just the piano concerto by Florence Price, but also the only piece for piano and orchestra that Richard Strauss wrote called Burlesque. She's going to come to play 2 piano concerti with us. Very excited about that. The concert opens with a piece by George Walker called Lyric for Strings. In the second half, a piece called La Noche de los Mayas, Mayan Night, by Silvestre Revueltas, a Mexican composer. This music originated as a movie music, and it is a depiction of a life of ancient Mayans. It's just full of raw, unfiltered beauty, unadorned beauty. I love the starkness of all those shapes that Revueltas created in this piece.
We have 2 performances for you of this concert, one in Ashland and one in Medford.
Our special concert in April.
Our special program, one night only, will be Arvo Pärt's Passio. It is a retelling of the Passion according to St. John. In this piece, you have a baritone soloist in the role of Jesus, and you have a tenor as Pilate, and then you have a solo quartet of singers, and they are the voice of the evangelist. And then you have a choir, and you have an orchestra, and if that is not enough, we are treating this as a theatrical production. We're going to have a lighting designer, and the lights will be there to enhance this dramatic retelling of an old but very important story.
So this is an extra concert. It's not part of the subscription package, but you will want to buy this concert early because it is likely to sell out. Only one performance, and it will be exquisite, and the choral lovers will want to attend as well.
Masterworks 6.
Our season finale, Masterworks 6, brings a piece that we intended to give you a few years back. The Planets by Gustav Holst, a cosmic extravaganza. We are adding a movie of planets, and we will even have a NASA scientist on hand for pre-concert talks and other related events. Finally, the planets are happening, and I couldn't be happier. The concert opens with a piece that sort of ties in the season together with our theme of reaching new heights. This is about a mountain range in my native Slovakia, Tatras. The piece is by a Czech composer, late romantic piece, one of my favorites. First, a mountain range in Slovakia, and then we zoom out to see not just the planet Earth, but the entire solar system.
We were able to get a date in Grants Pass, so we will be in Medford for 2 performances and at Grants Pass for the Sunday performance.
So there you have it. That's our 2022-23 season. I try to entice you with every concert with just the most beautiful and exhilarating music I could find. So I very much hope you are going to join us for these phenomenal concerts with the Rogue Valley Symphony.
This season we are rebuilding. We have high hopes that subscribers will return to the concert hall. Won't you join us? We have revealed world-class soloists who are excited for this unparalleled season of symphonic music. Here's to 22-23. Thank you so much.